I'm Max, 28M, and I've been married to Lily, 27F, for 3 years. We met in college during our sophomore year. I was studying engineering, and she was majoring in marketing. We hit it off at a mutual friend's party and started dating soon after. Our relationship was great throughout college. We supported each other through tough exams, celebrated our achievements together, and even survived a semester apart when Lily did a study abroad program in Spain. After graduation, we both landed jobs in the same city and decided to move in together. A year later, I proposed during a weekend trip to the beach where we had our first vacation as a couple. Our wedding was small but beautiful. We invited close friends and family, and everyone seemed happy for us. My parents, especially my mom, were a bit hesitant at first. They thought we were too young to get married, but they came around eventually. Lily's parents, on the other hand, were thrilled from the start. The first 2 years of our marriage were good. We both worked hard at our jobs, saved money, and talked about our future plans. We wanted to buy a house and start a family in a few years. Everything seemed to be on track. But about 6 months ago, things started to change. Lily got a new job at a marketing firm with better pay and more opportunities for advancement. She was excited about it, and I was happy for her. However, her new job came with longer hours and more stress. She often came home late, tired and irritable. At first, I didn't think much of it. I figured she was just adjusting to her new role. I tried to be supportive by taking on more household chores and planning relaxing weekends for us. But as weeks went by, I noticed Lily becoming more distant. She was always on her phone, even during our date nights. When I asked her about it, she said it was just work stuff. I started to feel neglected. We weren't talking as much, and our intimacy had decreased significantly. I tried to talk to Lily about it, but she always brushed it off, saying she was just busy with work and that things would get better soon. Then, about a month ago, everything fell apart. I had to use Lily's laptop to check my email because mine was having issues. As I opened the browser, a chat window popped up. It was a message from someone named Jake, and the content made it clear that they were more than just coworkers. I confronted Lily as soon as she got home. She initially tried to deny it, but when I showed her the messages, she broke down and admitted to having an affair with Jake, 32M, her coworker. She said it had been going on for 4 months. I was shocked and hurt. I never thought Lily would cheat on me. We had always been honest with each other, or so I thought. When I asked her why she did it, she said she felt neglected because I was always busy with work and didn't pay attention to her needs. She said Jake made her feel appreciated and desired. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Yes, I had been working long hours, but it was to save up for our future, for the house and family we had talked about. I thought I was doing the right thing for us. I told her this, and she said she knew, but she still felt lonely and unimportant. Lily begged me to give her another chance. She promised to end things with Jake immediately and even offered to quit her job. She said she would do anything to save our marriage. Part of me wanted to forgive her and work things out. We had been together for so long, and I still loved her despite everything. But another part of me was so hurt and angry that I couldn't imagine staying with her. I decided I needed some time to think things through. I packed a bag and went to stay with my best friend, Alex, 29M. Alex and I have known each other since high school. We went to different colleges but stayed in touch, and he was actually the one who introduced me to Lily at that party in college. Alex has been incredibly supportive throughout this whole mess. He let me crash on his couch without hesitation and has been listening to me vent for hours. He thinks I should divorce Lily, saying that once a cheater, always a cheater. But it's not that simple for me. We've built a life together, and the thought of throwing it all away is terrifying. My parents found out about the situation when my mom called to invite us over for dinner, and I had to explain why I couldn't come. They're furious with Lily. They never really liked her to begin with, always saying she was too immature for marriage. Now they're pushing me to end things with her. My mom even started suggesting I should date Alex's sister, Sarah, 26F, who apparently has had a crush on me since high school. I had no idea about Sarah's feelings, and it's the last thing I want to think about right now. Lily has been calling and texting me nonstop since I left. She's been crying and apologizing, promising to make things right. She even showed up at Alex's place a few times, begging to talk. I've been avoiding her because I'm not ready to face her yet. I'm still trying to process everything. I'm not sure what to do. Should I give Lily another chance? Is our marriage worth saving? Or should I listen to my family and friends and end things? I feel lost and confused. Any advice would be appreciated. The worst part is, we were planning to start trying for a baby next year. We had even started discussing names and looking at bigger apartments. Now all those plans are ruined. I can't help but think about the future we could have had if she hadn't cheated. I've been throwing myself into work to distract myself, but it's not really helping. My coworkers have noticed that something's off, but I haven't told them what's going on. I don't want to deal with their pity or judgment. Every time I see a happy couple, I feel upset. I keep wondering if I did something wrong, if I could have prevented this somehow. Should I have noticed something was off sooner? Could I have been a better husband? Lily's friends have been reaching out to me too. Her best friend, Emma, called me yesterday. She said Lily is a mess and that she truly regrets what she did. Emma asked me to at least talk to Lily, saying that everyone makes mistakes and deserves a second chance. But I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. Every time I think about Lily, I picture her with Jake, and it makes me feel sick. I've been having trouble sleeping and eating. Alex is worried about me, saying I need to take better care of myself. He's been trying to get me to go out and do things, but I just don't have the energy. Most days, I just go to work, come back to Alex's place, and try to distract myself with TV or video games. I keep replaying our entire relationship in my head, wondering if there were signs I missed. Was she always unhappy? Did I take her for granted? I thought we had a good marriage, but now I'm questioning everything. Yesterday, Jake reached out to me. He called and left a voicemail saying he wanted to apologize. I deleted it without listening to the whole thing. The audacity of that guy to think I'd want to hear anything he has to say makes me angry. I'm also worried about how this will affect our friend group. We have a lot of mutual friends from college, and I don't want to put them in an awkward position. But at the same time, I don't think I can handle seeing Lily at social gatherings right now. My sister, 32F, thinks I should take some time for myself, maybe go on a solo trip to clear my head. It's not a bad idea, but I'm not sure I want to be alone with my thoughts right now. Plus, I don't want to use my vacation days for this. I was saving them for the trip Lily and I were planning for our anniversary later this year. I guess that's not happening now. I've been considering going to therapy to help me sort through my feelings, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Does therapy even help in situations like this? And how would I even begin to explain everything to a stranger? I guess what I'm really asking is, how do you know when a relationship is worth saving? And how do you move on when the person you thought you'd spend your life with betrays you like this? Has anyone been through something similar? How did you handle it? Right now, I feel stuck. I can't seem to move forward, but I also can't go back to how things were. I miss the life I had, but I don't know if I can ever trust Lily again. And even if I could forgive her, would things ever be the same? Any advice or support would be greatly appreciated. I feel like I'm drowning here. Update 1: It's been 3 weeks since my last post, and a lot has happened. I want to thank everyone for their advice and support. It really helped me gain some perspective on the situation. After much consideration, I decided to meet with Lily to hear her out. We met at a park near our old apartment. It was a place we used to go for picnics when we first started dating, which made the whole situation feel even more surreal. Lily looked terrible. She had dark circles under her eyes and seemed to have lost weight. She started crying as soon as she saw me. She apologized profusely, swearing that the affair was over and that she wanted to work on our marriage. She admitted that she had been feeling insecure and neglected, but acknowledged that it was no excuse for cheating. She told me she had already quit her job to avoid any contact with Jake. She said she was looking for a new position and was willing to take a pay cut if it meant saving our marriage. She also suggested we go to couples therapy to work on our communication and rebuild trust. I listened to everything she had to say, but I still couldn't bring myself to forgive her. The trust was broken, and I wasn't sure if it could ever be repaired. I told her I needed more time to think and that I wasn't ready to make any decisions yet. But here's where things took an unexpected turn. A few days after our meeting, I received an anonymous email. The subject line read, "You deserve to know the truth." When I opened it, I found screenshots of conversations between Lily and Jake. These weren't just recent messages, but went back over a year. It turns out their affair had been going on much longer than Lily had admitted. The messages showed that it started just a few months after we got married. There were intimate details, plans for meetups, and even discussions about their feelings for each other. I was shocked and angry all over again. I felt like I had been punched in the gut. All the progress I thought I had made in processing the situation was gone. I was back at square one, but this time with even more betrayal to deal with. I confronted Lily about it. I went to our apartment and showed her the emails. She broke down completely. She admitted that she had lied about the duration of the affair because she was afraid I would never forgive her if I knew the full extent of her betrayal. She begged for another chance, saying she would do anything to save our marriage. But I was done. The lies on top of the cheating were too much for me to handle. I told her I wanted a divorce and asked her to move out of our apartment. She cried and pleaded, but I stood my ground. I couldn't trust anything she said anymore. The next day, I got a call from a woman named Emily, 30F. She introduced herself as Jake's wife. It turns out she was the one who sent me the anonymous email. She had known about the affair for months but was too afraid to confront Jake or reach out to me. She apologized for not telling me sooner and said she was also filing for divorce. Emily and I met up to talk about everything. It was surreal, comparing notes about our cheating spouses. We both felt betrayed and angry, but there was also a sense of relief in finally knowing the whole truth. Emily showed me more evidence she had gathered, including hotel receipts and photos Jake had stupidly kept on their shared cloud storage. As for my living situation, I decided to move back into our apartment and ask Lily to stay with her parents. It's been strange living there alone, surrounded by memories of our life together. But it also feels like the first step towards moving on. I've been slowly packing up Lily's things and putting them in storage. Each item is a reminder of what we had and what we lost. My family has been incredibly supportive. My mom has backed off on trying to set me up with Sarah, thankfully. Instead, she's been coming over to cook for me and make sure I'm taking care of myself. My dad, who's usually not very emotional, even called me to say he was proud of how I was handling things. Alex has been great too. He's been checking in on me regularly and trying to keep me distracted. We've been hanging out more, watching movies, and playing video games like we used to in college. It's been nice to have that sense of normalcy. He's also been helping me with the practical aspects of the separation, like finding a good divorce lawyer. I've started the process of filing for divorce. It feels surreal, but I know it's the right decision. Lily keeps trying to change my mind, sending long emails and leaving voicemails, but I've been ignoring them. I just can't trust her anymore. I've asked her to communicate only through our lawyers from now on. The hardest part has been dealing with our mutual friends. Some have taken sides, while others are trying to stay neutral. It's made social situations awkward. Last week, I ran into a couple we used to double date with. They looked uncomfortable and didn't know what to say. I ended up making an excuse and leaving early. I'm still struggling with feelings of anger and betrayal, but I'm also starting to feel a sense of relief. The constant anxiety of wondering what was going on is gone. Now I can focus on healing and moving forward. I've started journaling, which my therapist recommended. It's helping me process my emotions and track my progress. I've decided to take my sister's advice and booked a solo trip for next month. I'm going hiking in the mountains for 2 weeks. I think some time in nature, away from everything, will do me good. I'm looking forward to having space to clear my head and figure out what I want for my future. As for Jake, he tried to reach out again. He left a voicemail apologizing and saying he wanted to explain himself. I deleted it without listening to the whole thing. I have no interest in hearing anything he has to say. Emily told me he's been trying to reconcile with her, but she's not having it either. I've also started going to the gym more often. It's been a good way to work out my frustrations and improve my mood. Alex sometimes joins me, which has been nice. It's good to have a workout buddy. I'm thinking about signing up for a boxing class too. Looking back, I can see now that there were signs of trouble in our marriage that I ignored. Lily's increased secrecy with her phone, her sudden interest in her appearance, the decreased intimacy between us. But I also know that Lily's actions were her choice, and I'm not responsible for them. It's a hard lesson to learn, but I'm trying to grow from this experience. For now, I'm taking things one day at a time. Some days are harder than others, but I'm starting to see a future for myself beyond this pain. I'm not ready to date or anything like that yet, but I'm hopeful that someday I'll be able to trust someone again. Thank you all again for your support. It's meant more to me than you know. I'll update again if anything significant happens. Update 2. It's been a couple of months since my last update, and a lot has changed. I'm still processing everything, but I feel like I'm in a better place now. The divorce is moving forward. After weeks of back and forth through our lawyers, Lily finally accepted that our marriage was over and signed the papers. It was a strange moment. Part of me felt relieved, but another part mourned the end of what I thought would be a lifelong relationship. We're still working out the details of asset division, but at least the hardest part is over. Here's where things get complicated. Remember Emily, Jake's ex-wife? Well, we've been spending a lot of time together. At first, it was just to support each other through our divorces. We'd meet for coffee and talk about our experiences, legal issues, and how we were coping. It was nice to have someone who truly understood what I was going through. But over time, our relationship started to change. We found ourselves enjoying each other's company more and more. We have a lot in common, we both love hiking, enjoy the same kind of movies, and even have similar career goals. There's a level of understanding between us that's hard to find with someone who hasn't been through a similar experience. Last week, Emily and I went out to dinner. It wasn't planned as a date, but it felt different from our usual meetups. We talked for hours, not just about our divorces, but about our hopes for the future, our families, our dreams. At the end of the night, we ended up kissing. It was unexpected but felt right somehow. Now I'm conflicted. On one hand, I really like Emily. She's kind, understanding, and we connect on a deep level. On the other hand, I worry that we're moving too fast. Are we just rebounding? Is it weird to date my ex-wife's affair partner's ex-wife? The whole situation feels like something out of a soap opera. I haven't told anyone about this development yet, not even Alex. I'm not sure how people will react. I know some might think it's inappropriate or that we're just using each other to get back at our exes. But it doesn't feel that way to me. With Emily, I feel understood and valued in a way I haven't in a long time. Emily and I have talked about it, and we both agree that we want to take things slow. We're both still healing from our divorces, and we don't want to rush into anything. But we also don't want to ignore the connection we have. We've decided to continue seeing each other but to be open and honest about our feelings and concerns as we go. In other news, I found out that Lily and Jake are officially dating now. A mutual friend told me they've moved in together. It stung to hear that, but not as much as I thought it would. I guess I'm finally starting to move on. I hope they're happy together, but honestly, I don't really care what they do anymore. Work has been going well. I threw myself into a big project after the divorce, and it's paying off. I got a promotion last week, which has been a nice boost to my self-esteem. My boss pulled me aside and told me he was impressed with how I've been handling everything. It felt good to be recognized for my hard work. I went on that solo trip I mentioned in my last update. I spent 2 weeks hiking and camping in the mountains. The time alone in nature helped me clear my head and gain some perspective. I came back feeling refreshed and ready to start this new chapter of my life. That's when things started developing with Emily. I'm still in therapy, working through my trust issues and the trauma from the affair. It's been helpful, especially now that I'm potentially starting a new relationship. I want to make sure I'm in a healthy place before getting too involved with someone else. My therapist has been supportive but cautious about my relationship with Emily, encouraging me to take things slow and be honest with myself about my feelings. My family doesn't know about Emily yet. I'm a bit nervous about telling them, especially my mom. She's been so supportive through everything, but I'm not sure how she'll react to this news. I'm planning to tell them soon, though. I don't want to keep it a secret, as that feels too much like what Lily did to me. Alex has noticed that I've been happier lately. He keeps asking what's changed, but I haven't told him about Emily yet. I'm not sure why I'm hesitating to tell him. Maybe I'm afraid he'll judge me or think I'm making a mistake. I know I need to tell him soon, though. He's been such a good friend through all of this, and he deserves to know. I ran into Lily at the grocery store last week. It was awkward, to say the least. She tried to make small talk, asking how I was doing and if I was seeing anyone. I kept it brief, not wanting to get into details. I realized that I don't feel angry anymore when I see her. Just a bit sad for what could have been. It's strange how someone who was once the most important person in my life now feels like a stranger. Emily and I have plans to go away for a weekend together next month. It's a big step, and I'm both excited and nervous. We've agreed to use this time to really talk about what we want and where we see this going. I want to make sure we're on the same page before we get too involved. I've also been thinking about the future more. Before all this happened, Lily and I had talked about starting a family. Now, I'm not sure if that's what I want anymore, at least not right away. I feel like I need to focus on myself for a while, figure out who I'm outside of a relationship. Emily feels the same way, which is a relief. I guess what I'm asking now is, am I crazy for pursuing this relationship with Emily? Is it too soon? Or should I trust my feelings and see where this goes? Part of me feels like I'm tempting fate by getting involved with someone connected to my divorce, but another part feels like Emily might be exactly what I need right now. Any advice would be appreciated. Thanks again for all your support through this journey. Update 3: It's been half a year since my first post, and my life looks completely different now. I never could have imagined I'd be where I am today. Emily and I are still together, and things are going really well. After our weekend away, we decided to give our relationship a real shot. We've been taking things slow, but it feels right. She understands me in a way no one else does, and we've been able to help each other heal from our past experiences. I finally told my family and friends about Emily. The reactions were mixed. My sister was supportive from the start, saying she was just happy to see me happy again. My parents were a bit skeptical at first, worried that it was too soon and that we might be using each other as a rebound. But after meeting Emily, they've come around. They can see how good she is for me. Alex was surprised when I told him, but he's been supportive too. He admitted he was worried at first, but seeing how happy I am has eased his concerns. Our friendship is still strong, and Emily has fit into our friend group well. We often have game nights together, and it feels natural having her there. As for Lily and Jake, I heard through mutual friends that things aren't going well for them. Apparently, they're constantly fighting and Jake has been caught texting other women. I can't say I'm surprised, but I also don't feel any satisfaction from their troubles. I've realized I truly don't care about what happens in their lives anymore. It's a liberating feeling. Work is still going great. I've settled into my new role and I'm enjoying the challenges it brings. Emily has been incredibly supportive of my career, which is a refreshing change from my previous relationship. She even helped me prepare for a big presentation last month, which ended up being a huge success. Emily and I have talked about moving in together. We both agree it's a big step, so we're planning to wait a few more months. But it feels good to be thinking about a future with someone again. We've started looking at apartments casually, just to get an idea of what we might want. I'm still in therapy, working on myself. It's been helpful in processing everything that's happened and in building a healthy relationship with Emily. I've learned a lot about communication and setting boundaries. Emily and I make sure to have regular check-ins about our relationship, which has been great for building trust. One of the biggest changes is how I view myself. Going through the divorce was hard, but it made me realize how strong I am. I've become more confident and self-assured. I'm no longer worried about being alone or trying to please everyone else at my own expense. Emily and I have also started volunteering at a local animal shelter together. It's been a great way to give back to the community and spend quality time together. We're even thinking about adopting a dog soon. Looking back on everything that's happened, I can honestly say that I'm in a better place now than I was before the affair. It was a painful journey, but it led me to where I am today. I'm happier, more confident, and I have a partner who truly values and respects me.